We're going to continue now with a very, very important section called theories of motivation. And I don't want to lose you in the details of these many different theories, but they are super testable and honestly follow really well along because, think about how they can apply to your workplace. You could actually find them pretty fun. So I'm going to start with a real classic. Okay, you've seen this before. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs assumes that lower level needs must be met for higher level needs to be a motivation. Okay, that's still kind of vague for the people that haven't met this before. But we're going to see physiological needs. Physiological. Okay, that's not a word I use every day, but it's the most basic human survival needs. Think about it. This is for motivation. If you don't have food, water, shelter, you are going to be extremely motivated by food, water, and shelter. If you're left out in the forest to fend for yourself, then you're first going to think about how to get water, second about how to get shelter, and third to get food. And don't follow my survival advice. It's not good. Maybe it's another order. Safety. Safety, financial security, emotional well-being, protection from violence. Now, you might think about the protection from violence part. You might think a bit less about the financial security part. But I want you to understand that, say, an organization is rewarding its employees. If it is rewarding them extremely poorly, like in the United States, you have a debate about, minimum wage or what is a livable wage, especially in certain cities. Some people would say it's, $15 per hour. Some people say it's less, depending on where it is. But if you are not providing kind of safety, financial safety to people, or even worse, if they cannot meet their physiological needs. I heard this horrifying statistic about Paris that say, 1/3 of all people, living outside in the streets in Paris actually had a job. That's amazing and terrifying. That's amazing and terrifying that we live in a society where 1/3 of the homeless population of a city like Paris, and I'm sure it's not the only one, would not even be able to meet the physiological needs with a salary. So think of it. You're a company. You're trying to make sure that someone is actually motivated and can come to work. Do you think they're motivated if they're thinking about how hungry their belly is, or if they slept outside in the streets the night before? Even if they do have a place to rest, if they don't have the safety that they really feel comfortable with, do you think they'd be motivated? I don't think so. Social and belonging, human interaction, social group, team. So, okay, here we're getting into things that are rather nice to have, but, people who have the safety and the physiological needs met, the next step is, social and belonging. They want to go to a workplace where they have time to talk to their colleagues. They're not punished if they take a 5-minute coffee break. They want to feel part of something. That's why organizations, have these kind of, sports days or, company outings or, Christmas parties. Social and belonging part is actually important. It's a motivator. Someone hesitating to quit a job, say to, retire early, they might be like, but no, I don't want to retire early. I have such good friends in the company. That's a motivating factor. Or friendly esteem. Okay, we're getting to a pretty high level here. And I think this is more individualistic. So dignity, self-respect, acknowledgement from others. So, this is a level where, you might have a fancy title. You're getting money not just for your safety and physiological needs, but, you feel that, your paycheck is so big, it makes you feel good, right? And that would be a part about dignity, self-respect, and acknowledgement from others that can be extremely valuable. And so think of it. You don't motivate someone that has safety, physiological needs, social, and belonging The same way, say, just by giving more money, you might do it by different ways that make that person feel important. And finally, self-actualization. So this is a so-called, fulfillment of your full potential. And some people get it through the workplace. Other people feel that, they get it through their passions, their hobbies. It is doing what you were meant to do on this earth. As the director of the school I went to once said, become who you were meant to become. Become who you were meant to become. That means achieve self-actualization. And here's where I had fun, okay? Here's where I had fun because, I take these concepts and then I get bored out of them and I'm like, okay, you all kind of know this, but how can I go one step further, further than Maslow ever dreamt possible and just apply it to myself? Okay, so personally, myself, I think I fully fill my physiological needs. That's why I've colored it in nice little yellow here. I fulfill those needs. I have my shelter, my water, I have a glass of water right there, and my food needs as soon as I get down to my fridge. But safety needs, I'd say I'm pretty good. Think about yourself. Are you pretty good? Well, maybe, financial security, if I lost my job for too long or my revenues, just collapse for some reason, my financial security is pretty good. But, it's not fully there. Here's how you're going to memorize these concepts. Apply them to yourself. So, your social and belonging. I have a great family. I have good friends, but, we're right in the middle of a pandemic here. We're right in the middle of a pandemic, so I haven't seen some of my colleagues for a long time. And, I used to have a larger team, so, social and belonging, I don't know, it's pretty good, but it could be improved, huh? And my self-esteem. Okay, I have high self-esteem. Would, putting a big title on me improve my self-esteem? Sure, it could. And self-actualization. Probably the only reason that I'm doing these, courses is to kind of fulfill my desire, my intrinsic desire. And think about for yourself. Why? Just so that you'll memorize these different titles and apply it to your exam. And maybe because it'll be useful for your own knowledge.